Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me today. How are you doing? How are things going? Busy week this week, isn't it? I am mindful though, not everybody enjoys the Christmas festive time. I know some people it's tinged with sadness and some people, obviously if you're not well. So today what we're going to do is just spend a little bit of time crafting together and take ourselves away from all that hustle and bustle of the festive time. Now, last Tuesday, we created this lovely design. We had a look at the sticker stencils, and the set we looked at was this one, and it's Sticker Stencil 3 set. And it's got these gorgeous 4 designs in, and we used this lovely large open leaf design to create some lovely stamping, which again I have used the holly and the mistletoe stamp, but you could easily make this design, change it up and make it more of an autumn card, a summer card. And what we're going to do today is add it to our journal. And I must admit, I've had a bit of a play. I just love this journaling journey. I really do. And when I'm not spending time with you, I do actually create in my journal and I play. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've done, and we're going to do another page. One thing I have added, which you may have noticed, some of our lovely gilding flakes. Metallic gilding flakes just around. I've created a bit of a border, and that might give you a clue as to what we're going to add into our journal today, and I'm going to show how I've done that. Now I've got my lovely bookmark at my page because, as you can see, look at this, my journal is getting quite full. Look, we're nearly ready to have our run through. But the good thing is, now that the Cardi journals and Lavinia are working together, I've got my next Lavinia journal because, yes, I want to create another one, and that's on order from Lavinia. So that'll just be the right time for me to start my next journal. Now, I've got my bookmark in, which has been very useful. I'm going to put that over there. And I've just had a bit of a play with one side of my design, and today I thought we'd create the other one. Now I do want to point out where I've added to some of my pages before, I've added ink and also I've added sprays. The sprays may come through, mine have. And for me, it's very important that I show you this and show you how we get round things. I don't want to be the sort of crafter who covers things up, comes on to share time with you, but just shows you a fabulous page, but doesn't show you how to create it and show you the pitfalls. So for me, if I get any bleeding coming through, and this was it was one of my brushos, one of my inks that I've used on pages, and also there was one of my brusho pages, and it has seeped through, even though I put card underneath, paper underneath. So as you can see, now I could various things. I could have put some white paint on this, cream paint, probably buff would be good because it's an off-white, but for me I would probably have to do the whole thing. I could try rubbing the top of the paper out. I've got the textured journal, but again, I'd be too frightened of rubbing all the way through. I know it's handmade. So, you just live with it and it's part of your journal. Or we might just put something there to distract our eye away from it. But as I say, for me, it's important that I point it out because these things may possibly happen to you. And it's just to show you how we get round them. Now, the page I have created, I'm going to use one of our lovely sticker stencils, and I'm loving this border design. If you remember, we did it a few weeks ago, look, when we did our panel cards, and I just loved that going across, and I've never seen it done before. And I think sometimes when you do something a bit different and you're happy with it, so that was what I was focusing on, but adding stenciling into our panel. And also we've added some of our gorgeous gilding flakes. So the idea is I'm just going to carry my panel on. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not sure if my finished design originally, I was going to pop it across here, which is why I stamped the mistletoe. But I'm actually thinking I may put it this side, carry the panel across and actually stick it this side, because I love the way that that's finished off. But again, I've got to be honest, I don't know about you, but I found when I'm doing my journal, if I have ideas, they change as I'm going. You know, I start off with one and I sort of wander, I go in a different direction. I don't know if you do the same. Now I've got some of my Lavinia low tack tape here, and I'm just going to give myself a bit of a guide here. Now I'm not measuring, I'm just doing this by eye. For me, in my journal, I like things to be a bit sort of, well, I say organic, I just mean that I like them to sort of be quite free-flowing and not too precise, because after all, it is a journal. You know, if I wanted to create a fabulous piece of art to frame, then that's what I would do. My journal is more about how I feel on the day, experimenting, and it's more of a story for me. But again, that's just for me. Everybody's journals will be different, and you create yours, you know, like I've said before, however fits in best with you. Now we're going to use this lovely stencil, and we want to have the colour on the inside. So it's the outer bit that we want. And I'm going to be mindful, if I'm popping this in the middle, I could do with my main design either end. Oh, I wonder if I could mirror that. That might look quite nice. So we'll pop that there, I think. And I've got to remember not to go over my tape. And I'm going to use one of the middle stencil brushes, number 7, just to get in the area. And we're using green sleeves. Now, I'm sorry if the camera gives a bit of shadow with the light. It's quite a dull day here today. Obviously, we're in winter here in the UK, so I'm trying to get the light as best I can. But in order to do that, you may get a bit of shadow. So again, I do apologise. But I've said it before, that's what happens when you come in my craft room. So we're using the green sleeves, and I'm just going to come in and add my ink through my lovely stencil here. I'll do a little bit more. And again, I love the way, with this being one of the textured journals, the handmade paper, I love the effect we get. And again, sticky, so lift it up. Oh, look at that. That's sticky. My masking tapes come up as well, but not to worry. Oh, look, we could match that up. Right, is that about straightish? That'll do. Now, do I put one? I don't want to... Maybe if I just add a little bit. I don't want it to look too symmetrical, you see. That's what I'm being mindful of. I like symmetry, but almost natural symmetry. I don't want it to look too sort of contrived, but I want it to look like a nice design. Now, maybe this time I'll hold that down and peel that off. You see, what I'm thinking is all the time, if I'm mindful of that going in there, I could have a little, yeah, in that corner. Just see if we have that. Sometimes the mere suggestion of a design is enough, but without it, it looks wrong. Don't you always have to use large amounts? You see, I think that in itself will just, that gives me that edge. And I like that. What I am going to do is I want to just take the whiteness, the sort of creaminess off this card. So I'm going to add a little bit of green, just and it gives me more of a border. I don't want it to be too green. So again, I'm making sure that I dab off on my lid and come on my masking tape. And we're just going to add that nice bit of colour. And I don't need to stencil here. But if I did, I mean, look, the whole thing right along, that the panel is beautiful. Right, I'm happy with that. We'll take that off. Yeah, I like that. I do think this stencil, sticker stencil, works very well in this panelling. Now, to add a little bit of zhuzh to our panel, and I'm going to come in with my black fine liner, and I'm just going to do a nice sketchy line. If you want to do a wiggly line, you can do wiggly lines. If you want to add heart monitor, little squiggles, there are lots of different things you can do. Totally up to you. I just like to do a bit of, just with it being a journal. Now, what I have done to bring in the green sort of tones, one of my, and this is the metallic Signo pens, and this is green. I just, because I've got the green on the bauble there on my sticker, I just added that to the line as well. And it just helps make it that nice cohesive design. And I'm hoping all the time we're going to distract away from this. And on this side, what I've done is I wanted to just almost make this panel a little bit more decorative. So what I decided with my black fine liner is to almost draw on the bottom of each of these. And again, I'm just roughly following. I don't want to do it too perfectly because I want it to look a bit sketchy. So I'm being mindful to just, and again, this is quite liberating. It's a lovely thing to do. I love just sketching round. I mean, after all, look, the design's there for you. But again, if this isn't your bag, obviously, you know, you don't do it. It's just something I love to do. I mean, obviously, I've told you before, I can't draw for toffee, which is why I have Tracy, who creates the most fabulous stamps, so I can pretend I'm an artist. So I've added the black on the base there. Now, what I am thinking is adding, when this is here, I've got this lovely bauble here, and I'm thinking of adding one here. And that I can just, well, and it'll just take, or maybe I'll put a strip. I think I'll put a strip rather than a bauble down there. But I do like that bauble. I do fancy another bauble. Maybe in this corner. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, for my bauble, all I've got is one of my lovely, these gorgeous stickers, these feel-good stickers. And I'm just going to put, maybe do we have it a bit? I don't want it the same height, you see. That's what I'm sort of thinking. I know, I'm going to put it there, across the border. So again, for that, I'm just going to go round with my black fine liner, and I'm going to give myself a bit of a, the baubles have these, and we'll have a nice bit of string hanging. And again, because it's this lovely green colour, I'm just going to go round in the green as well. And again, it gives that, I want the 2 pages to look like they've been made to go together. And then I'm thinking that there. And I'm thinking of adding some gilding flakes down there. Yes. So on to the gilding flakes. We're going to add our gilding flakes, and I've gone for this one, and this is Jewel. And I'm going to use somewhere I have a quickie glue pen. And what I'm going to do is where I want my gilding flakes. So I'm just going to add a few around here. So your quickie glue pen goes on blue and dries clear. So on the top of these, and again, just roughly, just going to add that lovely glue. So I'm sorry if my head comes over. You could use white Posca pen for this, and that would look nice against the black. But I just thought we could bring in these lovely tones with the gilding flakes. Now for me, a little tip, because I know some people use tweezers for the gilding flakes, which is fine. I like to use my hands, but what I found is if I get my little anti-static bag and just rub it on my fingers, my gilding flakes don't stick to my hands as much. I almost anti-static my hands. Now, with our beautiful Lavinia metallic flakes, you can always tell metallic flakes are made from metal, and it's actually almost hammered down, so it's very, very fine, it's very thin. And what you'll find is a good quality gilding flake has large flakes in. And you'll find with Lavinia, that's what we have. We have the most beautiful large flakes. Look at that. And your gilding flakes will last longer, because the larger they start, then you can use them as they go down, smaller and smaller. And all I am going to do is just take my flakes and literally rub them round. Now, what I should have done was put a piece of paper maybe underneath to catch. So let's just slide that under there. There we go. And then I just like to rub my gilding flake everywhere that I've put my glue. And as I say, your gilding flakes will go down smaller and smaller. If you want to personalise, if I wanted to add my name, write a word, I mean, just think you can do that. Now I want to just get all these bits down here to see if I've got any up there. Right, I think we've got that side. And again, for me, I don't want to put too much on. I know I could and put the rest back. And again, do watch if you've got your window open. So if you're somewhere where you've got lovely weather at the minute, and you've got your window open, just watch if there's a breeze. Right, I've missed that one off there. So let's just see. We can add a little bit there. Just get a little bit. So yes, so think of personalising, think of adding a name, think of adding a sentiment. Just give that a minute to go clear, to dry a little bit so it goes tacky. There we go, that's tacky now. So any larger pieces, I always put back in my pot. But the smaller pieces, when they get very small, I'm just going to dust mine under my table. I have got a bin under my table. So we've given these a minute just to make sure they're nice and dry. And then we'll just give them a nice rub. Take the excess off and burnish it. So I'm just going to move this. Pop that down there. I'm going to move this out of shot just for a second. I'm just going to put it over my bin and just give it a bit of a rub. And that way it just checks any little bits that aren't stuck. I'm just going to file those in the bin and just burnish the flakes that are there. And if I bring that back, there we go. And I just think it's a lovely way of adding that lovely shine. And obviously when our finished piece comes in, because I've gone round the edge. So to this bit here, what I'm thinking is, another way of adding flakes is red liner tape. And I've got to be honest, I find this very noticeable and it's really annoying me. So what I'm thinking is, let's put a piece of red liner tape and make it look like it's supposed to be there. So if we go both sides, and it will almost look like it's a spine to our lovely journal. So if you just bear with me while I get these. I could have put one piece with a fold in the middle, but I don't know about you. I find if I do that, the fold, it's a bit thick in the middle of the spine of the journal. So I think a piece either side, for me, I'm thinking this is going to work well. I think we'll do both sides at the same time. And that one's not quite level, it needs to be level. And obviously red liner tape, I don't know about you, but the worst bit is actually getting, maybe I can try my pokey tool, is getting the red liner actually off the tape. Right, there we go. One side successful. Let's try the other. I dare say you're probably shouting at me now. I bet you've got loads of hints and tips. Have you got ideas of how you can do this? For me, I think you just have to point and persevere. There we go. And of course this will stick to your hands, but hopefully because we've put the anti-static bag on, we'll get rid of it. Now let's put our bits of paper underneath. And we'll go for the same colour so it matches. Look at these big pieces. Like I say, absolutely beautiful. If you want to make a frame, again, your double-sided red liner tape is perfect for this. The narrow one would give you a narrower border. So I'm just going to now press and just do a little gentle rub. And let's hope this idea works. I think it'll just look like a nice, now those big bits are going back in there because they're sizable pieces. I think there's some there. But like I say, the little pieces for me, I don't put back in. They've done their job. Got to be careful not to sneeze or cough while you're doing this. Have you discovered that? So those of you that are watching, when we've had workshops, oh, we've had some tales of ladies spilling these when they've been using the spare bedroom to craft, and oh, another lady sneezed and they just went everywhere. It's so funny. I bet you've got some tales to tell about these. Right, the lid's going on. And this one, as I say, is the jewel. And look, I mean, I've done a lot of projects with this. It does go a long way. And obviously here I've used quite a lot. Now, I'm going to slide those out. Right, put that in the bin. And like I did before, if you just bear with me, just going to move this over. And I promise I have got a bin. Eric isn't, this is on the right hand side of me. Eric sits to my left. So don't worry. And I'm just giving it a little bit of a rub to get off the loose flakes. But I'm doing it over the bin because I find those particles are quite dusty. I don't know if you can still. So that's what I'm left with. And as I say, look at that beautiful. So I've just given it a nice, and that is so smooth now. Now, for me, I think that, so we've got rid of that area that I didn't like, which I would have constantly noticed. And I think because we've got the gilding here. Now, to tie the two together, I just want to add some little, I've got some splats on this side of my green sleeves. So I'm just going to add that to my mat. And I do love this colour. It's definitely become one of my favourites. My fan brush. And we'll just add a few, again, just for that cohesive design. And you see, if I put some at the top here, we've got some this side. So that will come right across. So, like I say, in your journal, if you have got an area that you do need to hide, this is a lovely way to do it. And it just, for me, looks like it's the spine. I mean, it would also look nice down this edge, just catching this edge if you wish. Now, I think I'm just going to add that, and that will be us done for today. Oh, I must admit, I've really enjoyed this. I hope you use your metallic flakes. I'd love to see, if you could put your work on Facebook and tag me in, I'd love to see your designs you've been doing with them. Now, I just need some of my bippity boppity glue on here. And as I say, so many possibilities. And we have the gilding glue as well. Now, I'm thinking, I think there, so halfway between my bauble. Again, these are great for my hanging baubles. Yeah. Better get it straight. So pull these. And I'm just going to be mindful of using a piece of kitchen towel to press that down. Just to try and make sure I don't get, just in case I've got, you know, any finger marks. There we go. So I'll try and show you the two pages together. I know it's not easy. So there is this page. And I love this, Life is Full of Colour. And as I say, life is good with that lovely bauble. And then onto our other page. And again, for me, we've just decorated the background. You know, it all comes from this piece that we did the other day with our sticker stencil. But we've given ourselves another design that we've added to the journal. And I just think that is such a lovely, lovely page. So thank you for joining me once again. And I hope you have a lovely week. And you take care of each other. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Got some lovely things to do tomorrow. I think we've got another sticker stencil set to look at. And maybe do something a bit different with them. So you take care. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.